Urban Meyer did not accompany his team back to Jacksonville after the Thursday loss in Cincinnati. And then videos surfaced over the weekend of him having a good time out and about in Ohio. Some of the videos, inappropriate conduct, let's put it that way. Urban Meyer yesterday says, I just apologized to the team for being a distraction. And then this, a scathing, in my opinion, missive from the owner, Shad Khan. I have addressed this matter with Urban. Specifics of our conversation will be held in confidence. What I will say is his conduct last weekend was inexcusable. I appreciate Urban's remorse, which I believe is sincere. Now he must regain our trust and respect. This will require a personal commitment from Urban to everyone who supports, represents, or plays for our team. I am confident that he will deliver. The Jaguars are 0-4. They get the Titans this week. You don't often say, or don't often hear Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero, James Palmer, an owner only 4 games in, Tom, say that the coach must regain our respect.
No, you don't, Andrew, nor do you normally see an NFL owner talking about the inexcusable conduct of his head coach. But Shad Khan also finished that statement by saying he believes that Urban Meyer will do that, will deliver and regain the trust and respect of the team. That is the overarching message here from Jaguars ownership. Urban Meyer messed up, bad, but he does have the organization's support as he tries to move forward here. From what I am told from people who are involved in the Jaguars' decision-making process here, there was no chance that they were going to fire Urban Meyer over this incident, nor has there been any indication from Urban Meyer to the team that he might walk away. There is no question that he has a lot to repair, both with his players, the team, his coaching staff, as well as with his family. And they have to do this in football terms pretty quickly because they do have a big game on Sunday against the Titans with, as Urban Meyer noted, a chance to get back into the AFC South race, Andrew.
Yeah, a chance to get back into the AFC South, and their team did play better a couple of weeks ago against Arizona and hung with it until the very end against Cincinnati on national TV on TNF. Yet, James Palmer, there have been, and you've been there a lot here with these Jaguars, lots of little things, whether it's hiring a strength coach that had to be fired shortly thereafter because Urban Meyer said he didn't want to be a distraction, whether it's running afoul of rules in the offseason as to the contact that you can have on the football field. There have been distractions piled upon distractions.
Yeah, and Andrew, and you look at the statement there from Shad Khan, let's go back to the beginning of Urban Meyer's tenure with the Jacksonville Jaguars in this offseason, to where he didn't just meet with those in the football operations. He met, as my understanding is, everyone in the building. And he sat with all of them, and that's where he came up with the phrase of own it, where he demands excellence of almost everyone and said mediocrity doesn't work in this building, and you take absolute pride in the Jacksonville Jaguars, and if that's not how you feel, you should work somewhere else. And then when he met with his players, this was not a bad roster last year. You weren't the best versions of yourselves. You weren't the fastest, biggest, strongest. You weren't the best versions of who you can be. And when I spoke to a number of players throughout this offseason and in the beginning of this season, it was, we get everything we need in terms of our demands as players for our bodies, for nutrition, for our minds, everything. And players that have played other places told me this is more so here than anywhere else. But Urban Meyer has always had a concern that if everything he demands of his players, there is not success on the other side, what will happen? Because he has always had success, and he has never experienced the situation, Andrew, where you get a lot out of your players, you demand a lot out of your players, but there are not results. So everything that he has demanded of this organization, when you look at Shad Khan's statement, you wonder if Urban Meyer is holding up his end of the bargain and what he's demanding of those around him. It appears he needs to earn that back with those that are around him.
James, those are great points. And let me take you back to the beginning of this when the videos hit and the pictures hit. My initial reaction was this is more of a personal problem for Urban Meyer, right? He's going to have to deal with this with his wife, with his family. But the more and more conversations I have with coaches and executives throughout the league about this situation, the more I'm realizing it is a football problem and one that needed to be addressed by Shad Khan via a statement because, number one, he didn't fly home with his team. If you're a parent and you take your kids to a party, you don't say to them, hey, guys, time for you to go, but I'm gonna hang here for a while. No, you go home with them. So that's number one, that he didn't fly back with the team. Number two is the credibility issue he's going to have in the locker room. How many rolled eyes and snickers are there going to be when he tells them, hey, when you're away, let's say for the bye or in the offseason or whatever, be smart. Know that there are cameras and you're under the spotlight at all times. They're going to laugh about that, right? Because they know what happened when he was away from the team. And also, you go and look at his demeanor yesterday during his press conference. That did not look like the kind of guy you want to get behind, run through a wall for, all those metaphors and all those things that we talk about. He looked defeated during that press conference. So that's another issue he's got here. And the third thing, and I really didn't even think about this. This was more one specific executive who mentioned this to me. It's a great point. Trevor Lawrence is your franchise quarterback. He and his wife are pretty clear about their Christian values, and they just got married this offseason. How's this going to affect him? Not just from a football standpoint, but from a personal standpoint now. Those were not Christian values that Urban Meyer was putting on display the other night. So when Shad Khan puts this statement out, many people might say, well, it's a personal thing. No, it's a football thing. It clearly is a football thing that Urban Meyer is now going to have to fix.
Listen, I'm sure he cleared it with someone. Well, he's in charge about not flying home. That's his decision here. But for those, sitting on the couch saying, well, who cares if he flew home? That's not ordinary. You fly home with the team. So, that's red flag number one. Number two is you're out in Columbus. It's not as if you're not going to be recognized. If you're not, Mike, to your point, hey, be smart when you go away for your bye week here. You got to have situational awareness. You're out wearing Ohio State gear in Columbus. People know it's you. There are cell phones. We all have cameras here. So, and yeah, they get the Titans this week. We'll see what happens.